So, Tulsi Gabbard, your girl.
Mm-hmm.
There was this great article on how she's caused a great change. And this is a foreign policy journal.com. That's a good source, fam. How do you think she's caused a change in the party or in the system, the whole thing?
I keep on, when people start having this conversation, well, you normally have to do this. I'm like, this ain't normally no more time. The gloves are off when Donald Trump became president. There's going to be no conventional way to say things. And she has changed the whole landscape. First of all, she's so different than all the Democrats anyways when it comes to foreign policy. I mean, they're very much more neoconish, and she is just so, she's the actual peace candidate out there.
Yep.
Bernie Sanders is great too. I don't want to take anything away from her. Right. But the specifics, the nuanced conversations. So with that last tweet that she did when she went back out and when she called Hillary Clinton, she changed the whole landscape. She's bringing people in that were never in before. It's a civil war now. Everybody sees it, within the Democratic Party.
Yep.
So yes, I mean, all gloves are off. Everything has changed. So I wouldn't put it past her or anybody or Bernie to do something unconventional, do something different. Because the landscape is, you can no longer say you normally have to do it this way. Same thing with the Democratic Party and stuff going over here. You can no longer say we normally do this. Now, anything's up for grabs.
All bets are off.
All bets are off, and everything's up for grabs.
To me, it's like Bernie Sanders, he ignited this movement. He pushed people like Tulsi, AOC out into the forefront, into running, etc. But Tulsi Gabbard has taken that, and, the best leaders pass on leadership to other people. They create new leaders. Bernie Sanders created new leaders, and now Tulsi, who is a natural leader, has taken it upon himself to be like the person with taking off the gloves and punching, while someone like AOC is more so kind of playing to the whole establishment narrative as trying to get centrist support and trying to, attack the Republicans. Two entirely different mindsets of Congress people, but both kind of a result of the Bernie movement. It's very interesting to see. And Tulsi Gabbard, however, is the one that's challenging the status quo of the Democratic Party. Bernie Sanders is challenging the status quo in general of the United States, but she's challenging the Democratic Party itself, and she's trying to reform it. She still believes in reforming the Democratic Party. I'm not so sure about that anymore, but she firmly believes in that. And I think that is something that nobody has had the guts to do to that level and that degree, especially regarding the Clinton machine, because it's clear that everybody's so afraid. And with this, Tulsi has basically said, I know my foreign policy. I'm a veteran. And this article talks about how, her take on Syria, how she's against regime change there, and how she had the best answer on it. And it really isolates her in terms of foreign policy because, to be honest, she's the only one getting things right on a lot of foreign policy issues. And that is going to put her in a position of in a lone position, because if the rest of the Democratic Party is, even the progressives are pretty much in line, and she's over here, they're going to use that against her to say, oh, well, she's wrong, and she's a Republican, and she might as well. And that's going to be a very, very hard battle to fight. But she is right on foreign policy. Everything she has said up until this point on foreign policy since 2015, 2016 has been right.
Yeah, and small-minded people, they follow people. Like the Clintons, the Warrens, you know what I'm saying? That's why they'll nitpick any attacks against Tulsi, whatnot, because they're following a person. So since that person is anti-person, they're just going to go and look for areas where they can get her. But open-minded and smart-minded people, they follow ideologies. And she has this end regime change war, anti-imperialist ideology. So she's bringing a ton of people with her when it comes to this ideology. What Tulsi Gabbard has also created more than ever is an opportunity for a third party if, in fact, they do get cheated.
Right.
Now Bernie Sanders can go with Tulsi and take a ton of people with them if, in fact, they get cheated again. If, in fact, he makes it through. Because, let's be honest, fam, I know you're of the thought process just like me. If Bernie Sanders doesn't win the Democratic nomination, he got cheated.
Absolutely.
I mean, right? Am I right or wrong?
Look at the
streets.
The crowds. Look at the people, the donations, the volunteers, everything.
Who else has supporters out in the street?
Yeah.
Like in every city, in every major city.
The only way Bernie Sanders really loses this nomination is if he gets cheated.
Absolutely.
So that's why I'm saying if they cheat again, and I think they will, I hope to God these two go and they have great ideologies. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to be talking about MMT this week. And we're going to be talking because Bernie Sanders understands how that works. So he understands how policy can be created. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? He understands that unequivocally, and he wants to change the status quo in the United States. You know what I'm saying? Tulsi wants to change that status quo with our imperialistic ways. So it's just a great combination. It's a great duo. And they're really working it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, do you want to check the chats?
Ooh, I didn't even check the chats. We haven't even said hi to anybody. Was there any super chats yet? No. We didn't miss any.
Let's just say hi to
Okay,
some
guys.
people.
Just want to say hi to you guys. Raul Morales, how you doing? Eve Blott, what's going on?
Everybody.
Michael Cruz is here. Tony watches closely. We watch you too, Tony. Reese Mack is here. Jesus Zamora, brilliant, wonderful. Karen M. Aurelius Prime. What's up, Aurelius? What's going on? And
time no
Trudy
see.
C. All hanging out in the house on the couch with the Freethinker 59 on the Facebook. I don't even have this up. Hold on a second. You got some shout outs on the Facebook, Johnny? Because I don't even have it up. Where's my? I got it. Carl Hines. Carl Hines. Fifi knows best. Tony Humanic. Sarah Williams. What's going on, Sarah? Russell Alan Baldwin. Thank you
Hi,
so
Russell.
much.
Dan Nauman.
Dolores
we saw
Pierce.
you, Russell. We showed you.
Dan Nauman is in the house. He was here the other day. Dan,
Hi,
we're going
Dan.
to get together. We'll do some talking and whatnot. Who else we got? David Perez. And where's Ungi? Where's Steph? Ungi and Steph, you're late to the party. They're probably doing grand stuff. We love you, Ungi. We love you, Steph. You guys are awesome. So, fam, what is the next topic? You still got anything else? Or?
No. So I got this sent to me last night in the middle of the night. People freaking out because is Hillary Clinton actually running?
Wait. Before we go into that, didn't you want to show the...
Oh, yeah.
Videos.
Sorry. Pasta distracts me. This is what he does.
Sorry.
I want to show Tulsi
beauty.
Gabbard's video because it is actually, I haven't seen an ad that is pretty much a direct insult to the Democratic Party establishment ever. I've seen ads like Bernie's that are focused on the people and the issues, and it's awesome, and I freaking love it, and they make me give me the feels all the time. But this one makes me want to put on my some fighting gloves and go out and take to the streets.
Yeah.
So let's.
This is making me worry for her well-being now, man. She's making me nervous, man. When does she go on deployment again? We got to keep eyes on my girl. Oh, no.
Right, and she posted this 2 days ago, and we're going to show the new one that she posted after this one.
People warned me in 2016 that my endorsement of Bernie Sanders would be the end of my quote-unquote political career. They said Clinton will never forget that she and her rich and powerful friends, her allies in politics and in the media, will make sure that you are destroyed. Well, there have been countless hit pieces full of smears against me from day one of this campaign. They've tried to destroy my reputation and my lifetime of service because I stood up to them. I've spent over 16 years of my life proudly serving in the Army National Guard. I still serve as a major today. I volunteered to deploy to the Middle East twice. I've served in Congress now for nearly 7 years, serving on the Foreign Affairs Committee, the Armed Services Committee, the Homeland Security Committee, and I am not afraid to openly express my love for our country. But if they can falsely portray me as a traitor, then they can do it to anyone. And in fact, that's exactly the message that they want to get across to you. That if you stand up against Hillary and the party power brokers, if you stand up to the rich and powerful elite and the war machine, they will destroy you and discredit your message. But here is the truth. They will not intimidate us. They will not silence us. We are not here just to protest their corruption. I am running for president to take the Democratic Party and our country back from the corrupt elite. I'm running for president to bring about a new Democratic Party and new leadership that will fight for peace, fight for the people, and protect our planet. So I want to ask every single one of you to join me in speaking truth to power. Don't be afraid. Let's root out the corruption in our party and our country. Join me to end the war machine stranglehold over our leaders and ensure that our government is truly of the people, by the people, and for the people.
Okay.
Yeah, got a super chat contribution from Coconut Girl too. Thank you so
Nice
much.
name.
Your super chat contributions are always appreciated on the couch, and it really is priceless.
Why are you so corny? You
That
don't have
is
to say
my.
the whole,
It's
the
a
same thing
catchphrase
over and over again.
Fam, it's branding.
I will punch you
It's
if you
catch.
say
It's like he's got the bare
No.
knuckles thing. We got. We
No.
got. Oh, is
Do
it?
not
well,
say
then you
the
gotta
same
come
thing
up with
over
a
and
jingle
over.
that's
You
better
could just
for
say
us.
thank you like every.
No,
like
we have
a
to come up
different
with a
way.
jingle.
No, we don't need a jingle. This isn't a variety show.
Okay, she loves see the corniness. She hates it, and it's
I
like I
do.
know you love it, America, and we'll keep it coming. And Fiorella.
I think it's half and half. Some people love it, some people don't.
I think they just love our dynamic. Aurelius Prime is also talking about Crowder's video. It's trending at number 4 on YouTube. I've been hearing about that video. It has a lot to do with this, fam. Do you want to say anything about this right now?
Yeah. So she's literally said Hillary Clinton's name, which, I mean, if you say Hillary Clinton's name 3 times, she appears. and people are so scared to say her name. She is talking about how the Democratic Party is determined to smear anybody that speaks out against them and that stands for actual peace. And she's calling that out and saying, this isn't just about me. This is happening. This can happen to anybody. And that's the main point I want to get out of that. It's not just about Tulsi. The reason we're focused on this is because this smear, we knew that the moment Bernie Sanders came out in her defense, they were going to go and turn it around and smear him as well. There was an article by, I forget who it was by, but this guy on Twitter, and I tweeted about it, but he came out and was like, oh, of course the Russian stooge supports the Russian asset. As soon as Bernie Sanders came out and defended Tulsi Gabbard, we knew this was going to happen. But also, this was going to happen regardless. They have been pushing this Russiagate, and Bernie is this Russian asset for Bernie since he started to run in 2015. The difference is Bernie instead took the road of, I'm going to embrace this narrative, so they back off, thinking that would make them back off. It didn't. It's not going to. And Tulsi completely just denied the whole Russiagate thing and completely stood against it.
Yeah.
That to me was the right take, because has it stopped them from making Bernie out to be another Russian bot and Putin's the result of Putin's puppet? No, it hasn't. It's not going to. These people are determined. These people are focused. They're not going to change their mindset about Bernie Sanders being a commie. They're just not going to.
I thought you were going to quote Trump there. These people are sick, because they are sick, and I hate it when they stop making me prove Donald Trump right. Stop being idiots, because the fact they went after Tulsi Gabbard, that she's a Russian asset, is disgusting. Thank you again for Coconut Girl for the Super Chat contribution. And we also have Lori Mountain, Gal Pal, Tulsi fighting evil foes with a flaming sword of truth. And Coconut Girl also added another one, says, Kaya Calais on Twitter is running for her Congress seat and smearing her. We've seen all this stuff. All the Hillary trolls are attacking her for that video. She needs to back up. Also, I don't want to talk about this right now because I know he pulled up the Crowder video, but fam, remember during the debate, we were disgusted at the one point where they were talking about big tech and they were letting Elizabeth Warren talk and everybody talking, and the person who's really made a stance against big tech for the suppression of our voice, we're talking about First Amendment rights, has been Tulsi Gabbard with her lawsuit on Google. That is the biggest point you can make.
Right,
okay,
but no, it's Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren has a plan. They didn't
even let her speak, and we were so disgusted. It went to commercial break.
It's obvious, right?
Terrible.
Who the establishment has chosen, and I know Tulsi's sister tweeted about that. The establishment has clearly chosen Elizabeth Warren. Now, I want to go into the next thing because
wait, we're showing the new one. The new one.
Right now? You want to show it right now?
No, the Tulsi video that she just put out. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's along the same lines of
it's a
direct message to Hillary Clinton.
All right. Okay. Oh yeah, I started watching this one. This one's great.
Hillary Clinton, your foreign policy has been a disaster for our country and the world. It's resulted in the deaths and injuries of so many of my brothers and sisters in uniform. It's devastated entire countries, millions of lives lost, refugee crises, our enemy Al-Qaeda and ISIS strengthened. We've seen an increase in Iranian and Russian influence in the region. Turkey is emboldened, and we've seen an exacerbation of the problem of nuclear proliferation by overthrowing Gaddafi in Libya. Yet, despite this damage that you have done to our country and the world, you want to continue your failed policies, directly or indirectly through the Democratic nominee. It's time for you to acknowledge the damage that you've caused. And it is long past time for you to step down from your throne so that the Democratic Party can lead with a new foreign policy, which will actually be in the interest of and benefit to the American people and the world.
Wow. It's time you step down from your throne. I mean,
Wow.
look, this is the kind of thing the people want, especially the poor people, especially veterans, especially people that have been asking for politicians to. You guys all flipped out on her about the whole Ellen thing, and I guess she heard that and she was all like, I'm gonna go hard on Hillary Clinton, and she has.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't deny that Hillary Clinton is one of the worst when it comes to our foreign policy. I mean, she is like, it's like Bush and Hillary.
She's
are like
awful. She ruined
and you know what?
Barack Obama.
Bush
ruined his legacy.
may have been like the worst president, but she has been like the worst on war, like on
Since
foreign
Kissinger.
policy. Yeah, and she was Kissinger's darling.
Yeah, they were little
That's the
buddies
thing.
and friends.
It's
I'll tell
not
you this much:
surprising.
I won't be taking advice from Henry Kissinger. Remember when he said that in the debate and everybody would laugh and everybody went crazy?
I mean,
Because she was like, well, who do you know with foreign policy? I won't be talking to Henry Kissinger.
That was one of my favorite
was
Bernie
great.
moments, and I would love him to say something like that again. But there's nobody like Hillary on that stage right now.
No, nobody. Do you want to do the Crowder thing and stuff like that? Because it's the Google thing? Because I think, how long is the video that he has up there?
It's an hour long.
Okay.
All right, never mind. Okay,
Yeah,
so
we're
we can't
gonna have
do
to
that.
look into it, but
But
I'll just read the title here. So
Just read the title of what he says. And we're not Steven Crowder fans, but once again, we're talking about this reaching outside of the Democratic body, getting out of the echo chamber and getting voters in and stuff, and also seeing where we do have some similarities instead of demonizing just the other side.
Look-
where do we get along? Where do we agree?
Look,
Regime change.
it's number 3. It's trending number 3. Crowder exposes YouTube. So he says, at Tulsi Gabbard already has a lawsuit against Google/YouTube for blocking her ads for a 6-hour window following a Democratic debate. And then she was the most searched candidate on Google. And then I'm sure he explains more here.
Okay.
Yeah. But
what does the last line says? It says, following a Democratic debate, she was the most searched candidate.
Yeah.
And it says election blacklist. Okay, so, I mean, once again, the truth is the truth no matter whose mouth it comes out of. We are not fans of Crowder at all. I don't like this donkey at all. I think he's over the top. His show was kind of boring. I actually watched the show of him not too long ago on Epstein when he was breaking down just the basics. He was doing it like 2 months after we had already broken down a million shows, so it was kind of like a waste of time. But I appreciated his work getting out to his audience about what was going on.
right, yeah.
But once again, the truth is the truth, no matter whose mouth it comes out of. And when it comes down to whole suppression of voice, his voice deserves to be heard. It doesn't deserve to be suppressed, just like Alex Jones, just like all these other people they
But
blacklist.
Pasta, you're a racist for saying that.
Whatever, dude. Go ahead and say what. Yeah, please. I was called trash the other day for supporting Tulsi Gabbard. Please.
Look, I am a firm believer that if you allow censorship, there's a difference between hate speech, like inciting violence, and even that to me is like an iffy line. Like, obviously, I hate any sort of white supremacy, but the moment they went after Alex Jones is the moment then they have literally just beat upon independent media, progressive media, left media. That is the result of censorship. That is what people like Mark Zuckerberg want.
Yeah.
That is what these people want. They want to control what you hear because they want you to only hear their narrative. And so as much as I dislike Alex Jones as an understatement,
Yeah.
I can't be against him being heard or anybody like him being heard, because then it comes back on us. And so they suppress us, and that's what they've been doing ever since. And I am all about the First Amendment.
Yeah, and how about the most corniest moment of that debate? The weirdest moment was Kamala Harris trying to force Elizabeth Warren to say that they should pull Donald Trump's Twitter feed. Like, here.
Thank you for making Elizabeth Warren look good.
Oh my God, It's
Kamala, because
only
you could do it.
Was that the end? Why hasn't she dropped out? Because that was like, would you please abort the First Amendment? Would you please execute the First Amendment? Would you please just do that? Just say that.
And
she
it
said
looked like
3 or 4
Elizabeth
times.
Warren was about to laugh at her.
Elizabeth Warren was
she
like,
was like,
no. As much as I don't like Trump. Because then she had to go say no, and she had to go into that, I still hate Trump kind of mode because that's their game. I mean, and in the spin room, Kamala Harris was, I don't care if Trump doesn't know. It's dangerous. He needs to get his Twitter feed pulled. You're dangerous, lady. Just go away.
That's dangerous.
Just go
you
away.
pull
Kamala Harris,
Donald
you are
Trump's
the worst.
you pull Donald Trump's Twitter feed, someone can come back and pull Bernie's Twitter feed or anything like that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
Like they can find any excuse later on. It's a slippery slope. You don't want to do it.
Yeah, and the thing about Alex Jones, too, is a lot of people talk about it, whether his conspiracies, what was going on, Sandy Hook, all that stuff. He always talked this like kind of nationalist, anti-interventionist. He was like kind of like Rand and Ron Paul. He didn't want to go over to these other countries and start wars a lot. And a lot of people would always kind of mention that. So I think that was part of their ideology. Oh, he's a crazy conspiracy theorist, POS, let's get rid of him. But they also wanted to suppress that message as well.
But yeah, he is. Yeah. But you know, it's his right to speak, you know, and I'm not validating him in any way, shape, or form.
But he has the right to speak. His voice must be heard because everybody's voice deserves to be heard.